Outsourcing is one of the modern day miracles of business. I really believe that outsourcing is one of those things that if you don't master now, you're only going to get swamped with a whole range of activities that you really don't need to be doing. In this day and age, there are so many things that we have to concentrate on as business owners that if we don't start outsourcing some of these tasks, we'll never get what it is that we needed to get done. So I want to just run through the 10 steps to successfully outsourcing your online business. Now these steps are going to be pretty quick, and I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I just want you to know that there are steps and there's lots of ways to be able to ask for help in your own online business. So there's countless benefits to outsourcing, ranging from greater personal freedom to more profits, and to sometimes just plain necessity. You just need to have some help in order to get through the day-to-day activities. So I'm not going to go through the benefits of outsourcing because they're going to be pretty plain. I just want to go through some of the key points on how to actually do it. So the very first thing that you want to think about when you're outsourcing is to define what it is that you need outsourcing. So go and figure out exactly what it is that you do. Find out how you do it, and then what you do and what you don't want to do. And then go and outsource those things that you don't want to do. Because let's face it, if you don't like doing them now, you're probably not doing them at all. Outsourcing is a great way to go and get those jobs completed that you already don't do. One of the best ways to do this is to take out a piece of paper and break it into 4 columns. The first column would be called what I do. The second column would be called what I do that I don't like doing. The third one is what I want to do. And then the fourth one is what can I delegate? Start with the first column and then move across. Now before you're moving out the delegate column, you want to start crossing stuff off from the second column if you can. So that's the column that is the column that says things that I do that I don't like doing. So once you can cross those off, you want to move those across to the final column, the delegate column. Now this can be a great exercise, in organizing yourself from the most productive stuff that you do to the least productive. Now this table will actually change a few times as you go through it more and more. You'll find that you'll start crossing things off, you'll start delegating more and more, and it becomes a lot easier for you. Many people have a problem in the beginning in delegating certain stuff until they're comfortable with the person that's doing the work for them. So it may take some time before you let people outsource certain areas of your business, but don't worry about that. Just know that it all comes with due course. So the second part of what you want to do, the second part of the list, is decide what's first. So you need to go to your delegate list from above, and you want to determine the top 2 or 3 items that you need done the most. At least one of them which you feel pretty comfortable delegating immediately. So what you need to do from this point is write out exactly what it is that you need done. Now, you need to outline the action steps that you would follow. Like, how would you train somebody to do that particular task? Then break those steps right down into simple, actionable steps. Because once you've done that, it's going to enable the person who's doing the outsourcing task for you to follow along exactly the way you want them to. So there's also the question of if it's a technical task and you don't know how to do it very well, then just give them the information as much as you can and give them the results that you're looking for from that particular task as well. Alright, the next step is identify. Identify means that you want to go and look at the sort of person that you would like to have as your worker, as your outsourced worker. So, the more specific you're here, the more specific you get here, the more qualified applications you'll get. And this can take a little process. But what you really want to do is identify the tasks, the core responsibilities that an outsourced worker would have if they were to come and work for you. Just treat this like any other job. If you're a bricks and mortar business and somebody walked in off the street and you were going to give them an interview, then do the same with this person as well. So the more the more succinct you can identify your ideal candidate, the easier the interview should be for them. You know exactly what you're looking for. So, ask them things like what sort of skill level do they have, how many hours a week are they looking for, and also how many hours a week do you have for them. What sort of qualifications do they have? Are they good at speaking in English? Can they communicate very well? Also, you need to know what your budget is for this as well. If you don't have the right budget and they ask for a lot more money than you have, then you're wasting your time. So you want to find that out early in the piece as well. All right, the next step is to go and post your job. Now, there's a number of places to go and post jobs for outsourcers, but once you're ready to post your job, it's time to go and put it out there on the web for people to look at. So you want to create a document, and it outlines all of the things that you're looking for in a candidate. So as we just said in the last step, what sort of skills are you looking for? What sort of English can they speak? What sort of money are they looking for? Etc., etc. Now, if you can find out all of that information, or you can put that in the job posting, it's going to narrow down the people that are just applying for jobs anywhere and everywhere. Trust me, if you put a very generic job description down, you are going to get all sorts of people from all over the world applying for your job. So make sure that you are very specific in what it is that you're looking for when you post your job. Alright, the next part of the strategy is point number 5, and that's seek. Now seek, you want to go and look for the right applicant. You're going to get a whole range of applicants. You're going to be tempted to take on the first applicant or the first or second applicant because they're going to be looking cheap. And you might think, wow, they're quick to answer. Let me go and see if they're interested. You really want to go through and check your criteria from your job postings to see that everybody matches it. Don't get hung up on the price. You will get, for the same job, a price range from extremely low to extremely ridiculously high. So you need to look at where it is in your budget and what do these people mean by charging that sort of price. If it's too cheap, are they really cheap at their job? If it's too expensive, are they really kidding themselves, and do they really want the job in the first place? So you want to go and check out what it is that people are posting when they reply to your posted job. Alright, the next part of that is to go and sift and sort through those applications as well. Firstly, the last one was seeking the right people. Now you're going to go and sort through those applications. Go and check the resumes with past employment. See what sort of work they've done for other people. See what sort of projects they've done for other people. Go and look at the answers that they have for other people's postings of jobs as well. And take the application as an evaluation tool in the first place. So the next part you want to do, once you've ideally selected your right candidate for an interview, is the interview, of course. So the interview is typically like a normal interview. How do you interview properly? Well, there's so many different ways to do that. Make the interview questions in advance. Go and check some other interview questions on the net if you don't know what they are. Go and ask specific questions. Ask them how skilled are they on WordPress, or how skilled are they in that particular topic that you want them to be skilled at. Give them a scale of 1 to 10 to answer. Don't let them say, oh, very, or okay. Give them a 1 to 10 answer so you can actually start to see quantitatively how skilled they are. If there's something like a portfolio, you may be hiring people for graphics work. Go and check their portfolio. Make sure their portfolio is as good as what they say it is. Go and have a look at it and make sure you're happy with that sort of work. Is that the sort of work you want to be representing your business as well? Now, if possible, go and test their knowledge on the spot. One of the things I do like to do in an interview process is just make sure that they can actually think for themselves. There are a lot of people out there who can't think for themselves, haven't got common sense, so just ask them a few questions in which they can think about answers and then give them to you in a interview format. Now, number 8 is try them out, test them out. I often do this all the time. And that is to try them out first. And what I'll do is I'll give them a task to do, but I won't give them the entire task. I'll leave some of it missing, And what I want them to do in that case is to try and fill in the gap themselves and see what sort of person I've got. If they can think for themselves and they think of solutions to problems that are there without having to ask me what they want me to do, then I want to see that sort of result. I want to see them come up with an answer that doesn't require them speaking to me every 5 minutes. For me personally, that's a tried and true method of working it out. But anyway, go and try them out. Go and test to see if they can actually do what they say they do. You'll find so many people have a range of falsities on their resumes, particularly on the online world. So you want to go and test them out. The next part, number 9, is to go and train and organize them. You need to train them in exactly what it is that you want to do. Some of the best ways to train them is to use screen capture programs if you've got a certain job you want them to do. If it's answering emails a certain way, if it's organizing a website, if it's creating graphics, use some screen capture materials like ScreenFlow or Camtasia or Jing, and that way you can actually train them in the exact way that you want them to do their stuff. You may want to think about using places like Dropbox for sharing community folders. You may want to use something like Google Docs, where you can share an online collaboration tool of using documents to share the information at the same time. So get out there and train them. And the final thing is let go. Let them go. Let them go and do the work. Don't micromanage them. Otherwise, you'll find that they won't do the job properly. So that's it. That's the 10 steps in a nutshell on how to successfully outsource your online business.